In 1974, 4 bodies were found inside a house in Wichita, Kansas. An 11-year-old hanged in the basement, a 9-year-old suffocated with his head wrapped in a plastic bag, then covered again with t-shirts pulled tight to silence him, and their parents bound and killed in a way that felt deliberate, not chaotic. Police quickly identified the victims as the Otero family, a quiet, well-liked household with no obvious enemies. There were no clear signs the motive was money. The phone line had been cut. The killer used items already inside the home, like he came for control more than valuables. So the first question hit hard. If this wasn't a robbery, was it revenge? And if it was revenge, why pick a family that everyone described as kind and ordinary? Detectives tried to make the victims' lives fit the crime, searching for grudges, affairs, anything that could explain that level of cruelty. But before they could find an answer, Wichita was hit again. April 1974, Catherine Bright, 21, was attacked in her home. Her brother Kevin, 19, fought back and escaped, but Catherine was stabbed and died from her wounds. 2 scenes, same kind of home invasion violence, enough to make investigators fear they weren't chasing a one-time killer. Then, Wichita went quiet for nearly 3 years, long enough for people to slip back into routine. Kids rode bikes again, neighbors stopped jumping at every creek. The city breathed like the nightmare had finally moved on. And that's when he came back. On March 17, 1977, Shirley Vian, 24, was murdered in her own home, her children close enough to witness the terror. The scene screamed control, restraint, suffocation, and a killer who was calm enough to take his time. Wichita snapped right back into fear because this wasn't a one-off anymore. It was a predator resurfacing on his own schedule. And 9 months later, it got even worse. On December 8, 1977, Nancy Jo Fox, 25, was killed. And then the killer did something that felt almost unreal. He called police and told them she was dead in her house, daring them to find her. At that point, it wasn't just murder. It was a message. I can reach anyone, and you can't stop me. Now, the contradiction was obvious. He didn't just want to kill, he wanted to be known. And in 1978, a letter arrived at a Wichita TV station. The writer claimed the murders and gave himself a name, BTK, Bind, Torture, Kill. Not a label the public invented, a signature he demanded the city repeat. After the 1978 letter, when he claimed the murders and named himself BTK, he disappeared. Then, 11 years later, just when Wichita thought the name had faded, he surfaced again and added 3 more victims. Maureen Hedge, Park City, April 27, 1985. Vicki Wegerly, Wichita, September 16, 1986. And Dolores Davis, Wichita area, January 19, 1991. Then he vanished again, and police still couldn't catch him. So, here's the question that hangs over Wichita like a shadow. How do you catch a man who can disappear for years, then reappear the moment you start to feel safe? And when the truth finally comes out, does it bring closure or does it reopen every wound? Because in the end, the only thing that matters is this. Did justice ever truly reach the families he shattered? And how did police finally corner BTK?